Hello and welcome back to Forspoken. In this chapter we'll be starting to do some of the side stories at the beginning of the game, meeting a few interesting characters and starting up a few little relationships. But first we'll look at the map. As you can see, it seems relatively small from what we've seen of it, but let's try zooming out, shall we? So this is how the map generally works. You can zoom in and out on this screen, but there's also a button to switch map that you can see in the bottom corner, or the bottom middle rather. And when you switch map, it zooms out all the way, and you see just how big this game actually is. These areas are massive when actually exploring them, and they have some very interesting visuals and things, so we'll be showing off most of the interesting visuals towards the end of the LP. But for now, we'll be exploring Cipal, and properly meeting a few characters.
Can I get you something?
And a few little mechanics.
What's this?
It's a Parther from Janoon.
So they're like Athian dice?
They're made of animal bones. You roll one, and if it lands on one of the little symbol things, you're in for a lucky day.
Wow, sounds fun.
Oh, that's all it is. No one takes it too seriously. Go on, give it a go.
Now this is a mechanic I don't really use very much, or ever, really. The Parthers are found in varying places around the world, but I never really interact with them because I don't really feel the need to. It's cute though.
Nice! Rolled a... whatever that is.
So yeah, what the Parthers do is they give random buffs that last a certain amount of time. So that was a regen buff. There were also buffs like resisting poison and increasing your passive defense, that sort of thing.
So, you're guild-bound, I hear.
Guess you hear a lot of things.
That I do. There's not a lot happens in this town I don't come to know of eventually.
Huh.
No idea if he can be trusted, but we might as well see what he can tell us, wouldn't you say?
So let's get some random background information, shall we?
The Cognoscents used to study things we mere mortals couldn't hope to understand. Old Trehe used to say that one of their books was worth more than 100 loaves of bread.
That's all I get from the guy who knows everything?
I told you, it's town I know about. And that place wasn't inside the city walls last time I checked.
Come on, it was better than nothing. Poor chap.
Horn's a bit earnest, but she's got her head screwed on, and you won't find a kinder soul in Cipal. Granted, there are those who think she sometimes sticks her nose in where it doesn't belong.
You can add me to that list, that's for certain.
But Dad, Robian, he was well respected enough that everybody knows her heart must be in the right place. Used to be a very good customer of mine, that one.
Don't you think you've had enough for one lifetime?
Now that's what I'm talking about. Some complex flavors going on here.
Connoisseur, are we?
Alright, come on. Don't hold out on me. What's the secret ingredient?
Hey, I can't tell you that. It's more than my job's worth.
I like a somewhat playful banter with
Suit
the barkeep,
yourself.
it's very cute.
Warden's putting a lot of faith in you, you know.
I didn't ask her to.
Oh, charming. Well, be seeing you again soon. This is the only pub in town, after all.
But of course the walls come up when pressure's put on. As always happens with Frey Holland. But yeah, now we can look at the gear tab because now we have the hooded cloak. And this is just me confirming where all the little question marks are, because the main thing with these little question marks is a lot of them are missable. if you don't do certain events when you
You
can,
like that place.
then you'll kind of
Do I?
miss your chance to do them,
Nah,
as far as
guess
I
the vibe in
understand it
there is
anyway.
Acceptable.
Oh, to be young and a familiar face at the local drinking hole.
Yeah. Sucks being you.
So let's just make sure make sure we know what all the question marks are.
Fair maiden, a
Here's
moment, if you please. Pray, lend me your ears. I have a fine song to play you. Very well. Then allow me to regale you with the ballad of the enormously clever person of Cipal.
Is that really the best title he could come up with?
Well, did it speak to your soul? Did the doleful melody conjure images of the encroaching miasma, the unearthly cries of its foul denizens, the unlucky inhabitants of this fair city, myself among them, cursed, never again to venture beyond its walls?
Again? Have you ever been out there?
But of course. What manner of minstrel would I be did I not go wandering over hill and dale? In my dreams, of course.
You, Bard! Escaped criminals roam the streets, and still you do not cease your racket. There is a crisis afoot.
Forgive me, but there is always a crisis afoot.
Well, you may have a point there, but nonetheless...
She's a guard, Frey. We need to get out of here, now.
I, guess I'll be on my way then.
Wait. You're...
So sorry to see you go, fair maiden, but go you must. And quickly.
That was a little too close for
What's
comfort.
quite amusing with this game is that
But
they
we got
seem to
away
really
thanks to the fop.
kind of give up on catching Frey pretty quickly.
Yeah, and that song. What the hell even was that?
I always kind of see it as most people respecting Arden Keen's opinion. So because she's been seen hanging around Arden so much, the people in town just kind of accept that Arden's judgment's always in the right place, and that Frey must not be that big a deal after all, no matter what the higher-ups said. Seems Arden has more respect than they do. Most likely due to her parentage. Yeah, part of the reason I'm saying something on the map is that there are a few events that I wasn't sure if they unlocked now or later. They unlock later, though. I'm just making sure I don't miss anything, because again, you can't really come back for events once the timing's passed. So I'm just being very careful here. There are small conversations you can have, but they're not really like main events. They're just kind of like little repeated dialogue lines that would take far too long to go through all of.
No offense, but it would be nice to be able to talk with someone other than you from time to time.
Knock yourself out. Just don't come to me looking for tips on how to be effortlessly charming.
Now
Also, Wallace is an idiot, but he's kind of charming.
Wait! Where are you going, children? You're...
it's him, from the council.
No, wait. I won't call the guards. Yes. Violence solves nothing, surely you know that. Knowledge is the answer. It nourishes, sustains.
He does have the look of a man who knows his onions. Shall we see if we can get anything useful out of him?
Might as well. Hey, old guy. About this knowledge of yours?
Why would you ask such a question? Wait. You've been talking to Auden, haven't you? Honestly, that child. I suppose it was only to be expected that she would inherit justice and Callista's dauntless spirit.
You know her?
But of course, I too am a cognizant, just like her father. He and I are old friends. The guilds were once great centers of learning. They hold many powerful secrets.
Yeah, there's a few glitches in this video as well. Hopefully it won't
You
be
wish to know the history of
too
our
much of a
land?
problem for future, but we'll see.
Why, this is just what I was trying to teach those ungrateful children before
These
they
are on the source
deserted me.
video now.
Where to begin? You know, at least, that there are 4 Tantas who watch over Athia. They each establish realms, molded in their own image, over which they ruled as they saw fit. All was as they decreed it should be. The climate, the landscape, the means by which their people lived.
Yeah, that'll do. Thanks.
It's no wonder the children ran for the hills.
So what I've taken from that is they are very powerful
Wait,
women.
I said I would not call the guards, and I meant it. I wish to know more of you, that I might make an informed judgment of your character. My fellow council members' wariness of you is to be understood. Billet remains faithful to Tanta Prav, and Dax to Tanta Sila,
So that's why they're all so damnably set in their ways.
but my memories of my own ruler, Tanta Olas, are vague. I know not why exactly. What would she have made of your appearance in our land, I wonder? The answer to that question escapes me.
So yeah, now we have some names
I
for the
am a man of
Tantas,
my
but we
word.
still don't know
I will not call the guard,
much about them.
but Cipal is not so big a
You know,
city
the
that you
Olas,
will escape
Prav, and
detection
Sila.
forever. Promise me, at least, that you
Well, that's
will make
really
your
all.
escape with the minimum of violence.
And we can probably guess what they were like based on what their followers are like. With Dax being very aggressive, him being very careful and learned, and Billet being somewhat more measured in her behaviour. We'll understand a bit more about the Tantas later though, as the game explores them in greater depth. For now we've barely heard of them.
Ooh, my.
So let's do our first actual detour. Detours are more kind of like actual side quests,
A pond.
more than the
Kinda
little question
quaint,
marks.
you know?
Detours give actual stuff rather
You
than...
consider the drudgery of laundry and floor scrubbing to be quaint.
Feels a little more, I don't know, cheerful in the lower city.
When food is short and one's days are numbered, every moment is a gift, I suppose.
So, they're happy because they can't afford to be sad. That's fucking depressing. A cat. I'm so glad they have cats.
Also, you'll
in
notice
Latvia,
the little
too.
symbol on the
Let's
bottom
see.
left. That's the symbol for the regen status effect, where the health bar glows green over time,
I have a
and the
strange
little
feeling
heart
that
next to
cat
it
wants us to
kind of
follow.
glows. Other status effects, of course, have other telltale signs, which we'll see as we go through the game. So let's follow our cat friend, shall we? These are cute little side quests.
Wow, that is a ton of junk right there.
I suppose there's nowhere else to put it all if they can't leave town.
What do you want us to find here?
And now we have found our first collectible item. A poppet. Cute little things, aren't they? Almost like garden gnomes.
For me? Aw, you shouldn't.
Now the other items that we can trade for other things. We'll see that in action later in this video. But those are cute little detours. I quite like chasing the cats. Just an excuse to run around town a little bit and get an item. Also, the side quests give experience, which also give more points to spend on spells, so that's always useful. So while doing so, let's pick up another spell, shall we? Well, once I've checked the map to make sure of any other... Yeah, now we've got a new event we can do now that we've got the poppet. Let's go do that, shall we?
Adventurous when it comes to clothes, are they?
Oh yeah, I guess we're not spending any points
Guess
yet,
there
I'm
isn't
just
a whole lot
remembered.
of choice.
Unless you're a member of the council, it seems. Talk about rubbing it in.
So yeah, Frey's relationship with
this
these
way
people
last
so
night,
far
right?
is starting off rocky, but it's also starting from a decent enough place.
Attention to yourself. Can we just get on and find this guild?
Oi, you!
Huh? You talking to me?
Oopsie, Sheila Sharp one. What's that you got there, eh?
What, this? I just found it lying around the town.
Let me swap you something for it. I'll do you a good deal, I promise.
Now, some of these items are actually quite useful.
Well, show me the goods.
As you can see, there's not that many puppets in the game, but we'll pick up a nugget for now. We can also pick up a cloak with this puppet, but I want to go for the nugget first. And you'll see why in a minute.
Thanks. Got quite a collection going on now. Do come again.
Okay, I need to eat. Like, now.
Good luck finding a square meal in this town.
Yeah, slim pickings.
So let's hit that little marker, shall we? Because now, all these little question marks are gone. But that one's now been replaced by a little set of arrows, which is the shop symbol.
Gosh.
So let's try and leave, shall we?
Damn it. I mean... Well, that was a short trip. How the hell did you get out of this dump anyway?
I know a way.
You been following me, kid?
No, but I know how to help you.
Really?
I know everything around here.
Mm-hmm. And what's that gonna cost me?
An apple, maybe?
So you have been following me. Sure. You seem hungry.
Just follow me. Don't you want to know my name?
Not really.
It's Olivia. And you're Frey. Everyone's been talking about you.
I guess I'm kind of famous around here.
Does famous mean hunted by the gods? I call it...
Yeah, it seems as though the
finding
townspeople
secrets.
low of Cipal are in some way
Did
protecting
you steal
Frey
all
from the
this stuff?
guards.
Not all of it.
You're growing on me, kid.
Sometimes people have no idea what they're throwing away. I often make new things out of this stuff. Here, if you get hurt, this will help you heal.
Alright, nice. You'll have to give me the recipe.
Of course. Let me teach you how. Try it.
This game, yep, it has crafting. But the crafting's actually quite powerful in this game, it's very useful. Not just for the obvious stuff, but there are some incredibly powerful uses for it. So let's start. That's where I got the nugget, because that allows us to increase certain capacities. So the nugget allows us to increase our medicine pouch capacity, which means we can carry more than 6 potions. Well, healing drafts anyway. We're not going to get any reviving fires because they are very expensive to make. They require 5 drafts per thing, and we can only make so many drafts right now. We have no materials yet, so it's a complete waste of them to make that yet.
People really do throw a lot of stuff away, huh?
Yes, a lot of useless rubbish.
Let's
Wait,
seek out some
this might come in
materials
handy.
so we can do something else. Now, so far, we're very limited in what we can do to improve our cloak. It's the only item we have, so let's see what we can do with it. But quite like different types of upgrades you can get. It's not just like increasing base stats. You can also add equipment effects. As you can see, we can also upgrade our health with Grainstone. So far, that's all we can do with the cloak. We can only upgrade the health on there so far. But we can also add some stat improvements as well. So let's go for some of the more useful ones. Now, if you ever come across an enemy that reduces our defense, which is useful right now because we haven't got that much health, we'll be able to defend ourselves against that a little bit.
Hey, Shorty. I got you something.
That thing you said isn't worth crap.
No, not my cell phone, and thanks for not swiping that again.
I don't steal from friends.
Friends. Cool. Well, as your friend, I got you this.
Wow! What is that? Are you a Tanta?
It's a pen light, and no, I'm not a Tanta. What's the deal with those guys anyway?
They were the strongest and most powerful women in Athia. They all had gifts. And in the past, they used them to help protect the land. And one day, they will again. They'll come and save us.
Listen, kid. From personal experience, you gotta look out for yourself. People only really get saved in fairy tales.
You're wrong. You'll see.
Alright, well, I got a split. You said you knew the best way out of this place?
Well, if you climb over that wall there, that should help you get to where you want to be.
Cool. Thanks. I'll, see you when I see you.
I'll keep the city safe while you're gone.
Sure. You do that.
I like that Olivia's kind of the first person to really bring down Frey's walls, because, symbolically, she allows her to leave the walls to Cipal as well, because she is the first person to offer her unconditional love. Arden's after a favour from her, but Olivia just kind of lets her be her. So let's start exploring outside, shall we? As you can see, we have quite a distance to go to get to the guild at Xenos. But this is nothing compared to distances we'll be travelling in the future. This is a small area, the Barren Plains.
Why don't you?
There's not really much we can do right now because we're very limited in mobility.
Because I've been there, alright? Let's just leave it at that. Huh. What's this? No monsters here, huh?
Were you hoping for a little exercise?
Those are just random little lines you get sometimes when using the thing when there's nothing around.
What the hell are these things? Are they people?
I believe this is what happens when humans are affected by the break.
Then I can't kill them.
What choice do you have? It's either them or you.
See, here's a big thing about Frey. She takes violence very seriously, given she's from our realm.
This is what Auden meant.
Because of that, of course, she has our sensibilities when it comes to violence. It's one thing to fight monsters and to fight animals, but when it's humans, it's a bit more at stake there. At least as far as morality goes. Let's try a few of these moves, shall we? Let's put it on a plant to get some peppering going. Yeah, as you can see with these zombie kind of creatures, the big zombies, now we can see how useful the earth spells are when it comes to throwing them at the feet of the enemies. They can really throw them around. It's quite satisfying to ragdoll all over the place, really. These kind of enemies are quite satisfying to fight. And here is when I try and use that thing we just learned and put it into effect, which I never really actually use. I never actually use that move because it kind of takes a bit too much setup for me. But that was just me showing it off. Partially because I've never been able to get it to work, so that was nice that he managed to get that to work.
I suppose.
Reasonably. Kiss my ass.
I'll try and throw it in a bit more with that slam attack. Now that I kind of get how it works. So let's head over this way because there's actually something here to look at.
Finders
Not only
keepers.
some minerals, which now we can do crafting.
What do we do if
Dianite's
someone's in
actually
here?
going to be useful.
Say hello. Comment on the weather.
So at least hold on
I'm pretty
to.
sure they won't be the chatty type.
But yeah, some of the chests can be quite useful because they get us things like nuggets, which can give us permanent upgrades. Because of course the nuggets can allow us to carry more potions, as we've seen. Healing drops, you know what I mean. And now we're going to go over here to see another mechanic that's quite useful, and exactly why you don't need to actually grind when it comes to learning spells. If you go up this slope, we'll see these little glowy things. These mana pools are basically collectible stat points. So the more of these we run into, and we'll see bigger clusters of these later on, the more of these points we get, and so the easier it is to acquire more spells. And the more spells, the more variety we have in combat. And here's another type of upgrade as well, the Font of Blessing.
It's a familiar vista, if nothing else.
Hey, familiar works
There are
for
some
me.
spells
I suppose that's one way of looking
that
at
we
it.
can't just get from a tree.
Whoa. Do you feel
We
that?
can't just spend
Those
points
are
on them.
powerful magical energies indeed. Why not dive in and see what
That's
happens?
what we do.
Really? In there?
Let's jump in the pool. So let's dive in, shall we? Now, some of these are very useful, but some of them are very off the beaten path. But this is a mandatory one, because we need the leap to get out of this first little area to actually start exploring Athia properly. Because it's our second major movement ability.
What the hell was that?
Did something
So-
happen?
I don't know. I feel
So
more
while our main
powerful, I think.
move gives us a limited vertical
Power,
reach,
that's always a good thing.
this allows us to kick off the wall and get a bit more verticality. But so far we can only go so far with it, because we only have so much stamina. So far all we can really use it for is getting over this wall. As you can see, with just magic parkour, we will not have enough height. We had to use the kick to get up there. So let's head to our first main overworld collectible, the Pilgrim's Refuge. Also time to finally buy that spell. which is quite helpful when it comes to dealing with groups of enemies. And here we see on the map certain things have been marked, now that we're close enough to them. So the way I'll be working with exploring in this game is I'll be kind of breadcrumbing it, so I'll be kind of finding things on the map, like getting things to appear on the map, and then kind of like adding little checkpoints along the way to our main objective. But for now, here's our main location, the Barren Plains Refuge. And now at this point,
Anybody
it gives us a bit more freedom, because now we can fast travel.
Not.
What was I gonna make again?
So now we can just get between Cipal and here pretty quickly. Let's get another potion we can carry. Get a little more health, just why not? We've only got so much health right now, so every point helps. But to avoid wasting too much though, I won't be upgrading that much beyond this point at this stage in the game. And you'll see why. At least we get some free potions here, which is nice because we've upgraded our capacity, so now we can carry the extra drafts. Because every shot of healing we can is, but also we're a little bit hurt, so let's rest a bit to restore our health. So now we're at full health with all the potions we can carry.
As I'll ever be.
So that's all the exploring we'll be doing so far. Quite like as well, notice the sky is normal here as well. It's not like it was over in Junoon, and we'll discuss why as we learn more about the break. So I'll see you next time, when we explore Cipal properly on our way to the guild. Goodbye.